for all ages, tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden.
She tends and she comes in. All right, a very good evening to all of my friends and relatives and well-wishers, and those of you who expect to see us on a beautiful Thursday evening. Welcome to our program once again. And as you know, it's Thursday, and the month is already finished. The next time you see me here, it'll be month 10, you know? So, I don't know, the year is off to a furious start, and the days are whizzing by. And I hope that all of you who made plans for the new year have already started doing things, because before you know it, it's going to be Christmas again. All right, as you know, it's Cervical Cancer Awareness Month, they say. But as you know, I would say it's Cancer Awareness Month. Whenever there's cervical cancer or breast cancer or whatever cancer it is. But how come we don't have a prostate cancer awareness month? We have a breast cancer awareness month. It's a woman's thing. Well, men have breast cancer too. Then we have cervical cancer awareness month. Don't run away yet. Why don't we have a prostate cancer awareness month? You don't know? Okay. That is the reason why I say Cancer Awareness Month, because you really, when you have cancer in any part of you, it is affecting the whole of you. Right. It's not like a vehicle or a robot. You could screw off a part and screw on another one and you're okay. Whenever cancer is affecting your cervix, it's affecting your mammary gland, it may not have metastasized there yet, but it's the same blood in your body, you know, it's the same body system you have, it's the same one physical person, and there's no valve you can open up and let out anything or so, you know. So I say, whenever the thing come up, Cancer Awareness Month, right? And we must understand also that these cancers don't just happen. You know, they don't just happen because it's the cervix or the prostate or the breast. You know, they're activities that trigger off those activation of the cells. And when they become overwhelming and the system is overburdened and your immune system becomes depleted or defeated, then the cancer cells will multiply and just make a mess of you, right? The thing is, what creates these activities of the cells? You know, and we've worked on the numerology, because we had to decode it. We had to decode cancer, and the decoding of the cancer was not specific to any particular cancer. The decoding of the cancer was not specific to breast cancer or prostate or uterine cancer. The decoding of the cancer was specific to cancer. And guess what? Only yesterday, the formulation was delivered to the address in the US for me. So we didn't only fairly much completed the decoding, we have gotten the medication that was designed to destroy all cancer cells, not just the breast cancer cell or the cells at the breast or the cancerous cells at the prostate or uterus. The medicine was designed to destroy all cancer cells wherever they might be without even touching your good cells, right? The only thing I have to do now is to get it here. And my good friend out there is working on, we have ways to get it here, but we want to get an inexpensive way of getting it here. So, and it's not, the other good thing is that it's not, you're not going to become a testing site. It's already been tested and proven, and it's being used. Okay, so you're not going to be an experiment, right? Someone called me last night and asked me if there's anything that I can do or we can do about a stage 4 cancer patient. And I didn't give an answer because stage 4 cancer, and I use an example to her, stage 1 is like the ant coming out the nest and looking for something to eat. You know, he's looking for food that's about the place, right? Stage 2 is when he goes back into his nest and report that he finds something, and and others come out with him to verify that he did find something, and what he found is enough for all of us. Right? Stage 3 is when the queen in the nest is reported to, and then she releases to the media, or in the media to the rest of them, it's time to go. Stage 4 is when they all come out and invade the food stuff, whatever it is the particle is, or whatever it is that is out there that was found by the stage 1 scout, right? So when you get to stage 4 is not easy to deal with. Stage 4 is all the cells, all the bad cells activated, and they're at war with your body. And it's very difficult to combat that. So the answer is very, not resoundingly no, you can't do nothing, but you've got to investigate the person, the body system. We've got to see if the immune system is capable of defending the rest of the body, because the immune system is what is needed. And then we have to see how many of those organs have been destroyed, and if there's, if they've been totally destroyed or if they're partially destroyed. It's not easy to combat a stage 4 cancer. And most times when you're at stage 4, you're almost over, because the organs have been pretty much destroyed and the cells have already died, and it's just a matter of time. But I don't say no until you can't breathe anymore, right? I don't like to say no, because I don't know, miracles can happen. You could be at stage 4 and because your number isn't called yet, if the right application is done, chances are it's possible that you could recover. So you don't, like they say in sports, it's not over until the fat lady sing, right? I don't really like to say that because we have a lot of oversized people in Guyana. But that is not what I say. That is what is said in the world. It's not over till not over until the fat lady sing. I don't know why the fat lady got to sing before it's over.
Opera, that's what the opera singer.
It's an opera singer.
Yeah, that's why they say that.
She's singing lullabies. Anyhow, on a serious note, I spoke about the foods that we eat. I spoke about being exposed to STDs that are very destructive, and you don't even have symptoms. We spoke about exposing yourself to chemicals even in your home that can activate those bad cells. For instance, many of you sleep with mosquito coils burning in your house, in your bedroom, in your house. You're burning this coil to ward off mosquitoes, and you're breathing the chemicals into your system, into your body system, from the mosquito coil. And some of those chemicals are harsh, like DDT and all that is built into those things. You know, so when you breathe the smoke from a mosquito coil into your body system, you're actually ingesting chemicals through your bronchioles that can affect your lung, your kidney, you know, your liver, you know. So I'm encouraging you to stop using mosquito coils. Burn citronella oil. You know, it's safer, it's a natural derivative, and it will ward off the mosquitoes. If you want to burn anything, burn citronella oil. If you want to keep mosquitoes out of your yard, grow citronella plants in your pots. You know, instead of growing something that bears a little flower or just a vine that runs and you can't do nothing with it, that encourages more mosquitoes, grow something in your plant pots or in your yard that can keep away flies and mosquitoes and all of those bad insects. Like citronella. You know, put some citronella down, put some lemongrass in the yard and put, you know, put plants that can benefit you. You know, some of you can't sleep, put some chamomile in your yard and then you pick it and you brew it and make a tea and drink. Put some peppermint leaves. You know, I'm not saying don't put plants that are just decorative type of plants, but plant things that can, I gotta be careful because some people are they plant crazy. Plant food that you can eat. Plant medicinal
Yes.
herbs that you can use. You still got to water them every day, or you still got to feed them whatever you feed them. So if you're going to invest in them, and if you love plants, they have some beautiful natural plants that can benefit you, that can look good in your yard. And stop growing out all of those artificial things that can't do nothing for you. Some of them are diseased and you don't even know, and you breathe, you know, you're breathing from them the disease that they have in them. You know, so we have to become more sensitized and more smart about how we are protecting ourselves from cancer cells and from the exposure to environmental pollutants and so, right? We use a lot of chemicals in our homes to clean our homes. You know, we don't know what's in those chemicals, but we use them, right? You're wondering what trigger off the cancer cells, and I'm seeing people every day with cancer cells activated all the time now. You know, the farmers are a big contributory factor in all of this because they're putting too many chemicals, and I'm looking at the agency that's responsible for monitoring the amount of chemicals that are used in our food that we eat. Okay, we have to come up with more laboratory facilities that can come up with natural derivatives to ward off the insects. You know, in the labs, in the schools and all that, let them come up with those things. You know, you have a university, the only one that we have really that is known in Guyana, UG, we need more. You know, we talked about that last week. You know, you talk about education is the key, then where are the doors?
Exactly, in the locks online.
Where are the doors to open?
Yes.
You know, you have one university here to service how many all of these children coming out of high school every year. You know, so, you know, we need to focus, we need to wake up and focus on what to do to preserve ourselves. Because like last night, you know, it happened to me again. You know, and I'll get Dr. Yates to come on in a minute. Doc, last night I was reading, and you know, that announcement is something I look at periodically because I treat people all the time and I want to make sure nobody pass out and I don't know. So I looked, and it seems like every TV station now shows that announcement, right? And it seems like you look for hours and it's not done. You know, it's like we're looking at a movie now.
Right.
That announcement has become a featured thing. So you're looking and it's just like hours and hours of that announcement. So why are we losing all these people every day? taking into consideration the fact that they show them, you know, sometimes 3 or 4 times. But even if they show it one time, the first time it's shown, it's like the death announcement is like it's like a soap opera.
Wow.
It just keeps going and going and going. And you're wondering, why are we losing all of these people? You know, you talk about the list. The list has to be modified because the voters list. Because we would have lost a whole lot of people from the time the last election was to now. You know, if you look at the numbers that are reeling on the television all the time, I'm quite sure many of those persons were on a list. They're gone. Are you updating those lists? You know, is the agency forwarding to the Elections Commission the names of the people who would have passed on so that they can take them off the list? You know, I'm just going there because we're talking about people who are dying, right? But it's something that they need to consider if they're not doing it. Every time someone dies and that death is registered, that information should be passed on to the Elections Commissioner so that they can upgrade their lists, update it, you know? And even in the office where there's birth certificates that are produced, the death certificate should go there, and then you also with NIS and all those agencies that, you know, I mean, we have to really become more modern with our technology. When a person dies and it goes into the system, all the agencies that are connected to a person's death should be copied automatically, so that they will have, you know, somebody screening them on a daily basis or whatever, weekly, to take those names off of whatever areas that the contributions are made because they're alive. You see, so we don't need a rocket scientist. We need people who are thinking, who understand societies and what it takes, you know, to be sitting in those places that making decisions, right? So, back to cancer. Cancer doesn't have to kill you. It doesn't have to.
Right.
You know, cancer is not normal.
That's true.
Cancer is not something that is expected to happen.
It's not inheritance.
You don't inherit it. You inherit the cells. You're born with the cells.
Right.
But if cancer was normal, then everyone should have died with it.
Word. Come on.
It's not normal.
Come on.
If prostate cancer was normal, every man would die with it.
And it should have it.
You know, every man would have it and he would have to deal with it or die with it. So those are not normal conditions. Like I said before, we said it, it's a condition that has demonic tendencies.
Word. Word. God.
Because God didn't make you to have cancer.
Come on.
Didn't.
Come on.
You know, so on this note, before you get on my case, I will invite my good buddy here, the mathematician, because he still has to close out this decoding with me. We haven't closed it out, Doc. I got the medicine coming.
Okay.
Right? We're going to check the numbers when it comes to see if it matches.
Word.
Right?
Word.
Then we know we got everything going. But Dr. Yates will come in and we're going to take a quick break. We're going to drag him in here and then we'll continue our conversation. Stay tuned.
Looking for a place for the whole family? Come down to the Toucan Mall in Amelia's Ward, Linden. It's the mall that has it all. We have great food, a relaxing atmosphere, and activities for all ages. Tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden.
All right, Dr. Yates, welcome.
Well,
Welcome to the program. We dragged the chair in.
You dragged the
right?
chair in,
We
not
got
me.
up and we dragged the chair in. You walked behind the chair.
Can't drag the doctor. And I want to say Al Shalamti. And to the viewers, as always, Al Shalamti. And that simply means I respect, salute, and honor the divinity of the Creator in you.
Mhm.
Right. That's what it really means. So that's why I say that to folks. Let me also be full of courage in saying that this program that you've been hosting for quite some time, I normally scan television programs and talk shows and television shows. And disfortunately is the word. We do not have programs like this. The more voices that are speaking out to not only the patients, but innocent people who might end up in the same disease situations like others who've been diseased with many different sicknesses. Primarily, we're talking about cancer. You know, other program, other voices being heard would make the percentage of people being diseased less. The people, like we said before, food can cause cancer. What you eat is what you are. How you eat is who you are. And the more voices we have would be great. I'm so thankful to you for being so, you haven't given up the fight. You talked previous Thursday of how you felt. You know, when you're seeing people, it's just like it's going in one ear, coming out the other, or it's like they say water and dog's back, not taking the advice, you know. But my word to you is be full of courage. You remember there's a story in the Bible that talks about the prophet Elijah, most people call Elijah. And he thought that he was the last and only prophet left in Israel because Jezebel was very effective in what she does, which is deceiving many of the prophets and contaminating them. She was like the cancer of the day and time, Jezebel.
We still have.
Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do. And she was so popular and so influential that when the prophet Elijah, they call Elijah, was seeing that many was falling to her and the other prophets, he thought he was the last. And he cried out to the Creator. And he got scared and afraid, thinking, am I going to be next? He said, oh, calm down. I've got prophets she knows not of, and you do not know of, many of them out there. I'm saying this to say to you, there are people like you. Disfortunately, they're not coming out of the
Box.
closet.
The closet.
Closet.
Yeah,
Yes.
those were the two things the box and the closet. Coming out of the box is being different. Coming out of the closet is being open.
Right, exactly. Also,
The girls on the program the other night, 'cause I was on the program on the radio, what's it called, the Big People Show or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, I heard somebody told me that you were on there with Margaret and
Yeah, with Margaret and
Jill.
Desiree.
Desiree, right.
And we are looking at doing it monthly, once a month.
Yeah, you need it.
Yeah.
And those are two voices, that's ago. Now,
Those are two
oh,
ladies.
ladies, yeah.
Those are two ladies that I used to be on Doctor and Call on the radio with Maggie.
Oh, okay.
This is long years ago.
All right.
Years.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, she reminded me that I started Doctor and Call on the radio with Roger Moore.
Yeah, coming out with Roger, right?
Yeah, it was with Roger I
yeah.
started.
Man, the 90s.
And then, you know, they would, when they would interact, they would switch around on who worked and all. It was Desiree and Roger. Not Desiree. Maggie and Roger.
Margaret Lawrence?
Yeah, Maggie and Roger.
Matter of fact, Maggie's the first person to interview me when I came home to Guyana in the year 97. Because I left in 77, returned 20 years after. And Maggie was the first, she's aware of that, the first person that interviewed me in GBS, on radio, right?
Maggie's been in radio for a long time,
Yep.
long. But we had a very good, we interacted really well. It's like we were doing it all the time. It's like normal.
So what you
normal
guys
for
talk
us.
about?
We talked about cancer.
Okay.
We talked about coming out of the closet. and
I know about you get a kick out of it.
and they reminded me that we talked about burning your closet.
I told him I could get a kick out of it.
You can't go back in
I
the
can't
closet.
go back in.
Because it's burned down.
It's burned down.
So,
I got people teasing me since after the show we did previous Thursday. They keep telling me, Doc, you know, you can't go back. Dr. Haynes said you burned it down. No, I have to. It's necessary. Look, the truth must be heard, and one way it can be heard is that it has to be told.
mhm.
You know, John chapter chapter 8, verse 3:2, they call 32. It says, and ye shall, K-N-O-W. They call it no. I pronounce it canal. Phonics, right? Ye shall canal the truth, and the truth shall.
Set.
And people always say set. It's not set. It didn't say set. But most people say set. And this is why it's so important to study to show oneself approved. The scripture never did in the original King James Version of the Bible. I'm talking about the original King James Version, 1611, 1612. Never say set. It says M-A-K-E. Make you free. A big difference, folks. To set something is to put it in another position. To make is to recreate, starting over the pot and the clay. So the idea is that when they're changing it from make to set, it's like most Americans of the diaspora of Africa, that they say were known to be slaves in America, they set the slaves free, but they never made them free. Same thing in Guyana, you see? So when they set them free, they put them saying that you're being emancipated, but they put them back in the prison system.
They're still set free here.
And still set free here. I mean, you can see the results of that. The eating habits, right?
Some people are imprisoned by their, or with their, in their customs. You know, they're accustomed to making cook-up rice with pigtail and
Yes.
and tripe.
Survival food of the slaves.
You know,
That was food, survival food for them. They still eat it as a luxury thing now. So they were set free, not made free.
yeah.
They haven't changed the eating
still doing it.
slavery
Still
habit of eating.
The
right?
difference then and now is that back then they were out there working the fields.
Yeah, okay, burning it up. Right?
Burning it
Burning
up
the calories, right.
and,
Good
and,
point.
and getting rid of the waste matter and all of that. Here now it's a minibus or a taxi or a car or
Exactly.
you know or the chair watching all day television.
Television in front of it. That's true.
You know, so even though they consume foods that were maybe not good for their body system, they were out there sweating and burning it up, and
Makes
as a
sense.
result of that, it didn't have that effect on them.
Ah, good point. Good medical
That
observational
is
point.
causing now what
Yes,
is happening.
Yes. And based
See?
on the fact that we use it from, because I like to deal from a scriptural, most people use the term biblical, that's fine with me, because I studied the Bible, the Quran, the Gitas, and also the Torah, and any ancient books that has to do with information that can benefit the people. That's me. I do not discriminate against any religion or any religious books or any inscriptional information that is going to be beneficial for me. I have access to it. I was commissioned to study to show myself approved. This workman need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So that's why I have access to all this information. And when we're talking about cancer, all right? And we talked about why the woman is targeted, right? With so many various forms of cancer. From a biblical perspective, let me explain this, folks. I've never said this before. I'm out of the closet, so I can't get back in, all right?
They burn up.
Burned down. According to you, it's burned down. Let me say this. According to the King James Version of the Bible, and the book called Genesis, in Hebrew it's called Bereshit, it states that the first person that was tempted on earth to go against the norm of eating was the female. Now listen to me carefully. Listen carefully. The first person that was tempted and told that she needs to eat something otherwise than what she was instructed to eat, and that she needs to eat what she should not have eaten, I didn't write the book of Genesis Bereshit. I'm telling you what's written there. The tempter came to the female and told the female, didn't come to he Adam, came to she Adam. Both of them were called Adam, folks. Read it in Genesis chapter 5, verse 2. The woman was called Adam, and so was the man. So she, Adam, was tempted. She was told that she needed to add something to her dinner table, otherwise, and what the Creator says she shouldn't eat. It's called the forbidden fruit. In other words, there are foods, there are things on this planet that's forbidden for us to consume. We see it in the story. And she listened, and she took the advice, and they give you the character of the being, serpent, which is to beguile, to swindle, to con, as in con man, and she ate. And from that particular point, and it's always written in theology, because I went to Bible college to become a minister. And in Bible college, they taught us that because of one man's sin, sin entered into the world. I say because of one woman's changing the meal that she's supposed to give her of her family, and she ate what the Creator said she shouldn't, because of one woman's consummation of contaminated food is why we see mostly women with cancer. She, as they always say, this woman is a weaker vessel. The reality is simply this. Whoever wrote that story in Genesis, and this is important for us to keep attention to, whoever wrote the story and put it in the text so that you can see it as a context, it was already designed that the woman going to be the specimen that we are going to work on and use her, that guinea pig, as the vessel for testing our different drugs and our contamination, because consummation. What kind of woman cook for her husband at home and her children at home, cooking from the garden, naturally food eating, and no one gets cancer? As soon as she steps out of the home, she comes in the home with the cancer. Where did she get it? Obviously out of the home. And where did she get it? She eating out there. The junk stuff out of those snacks in those paper bag, those junk food they put in there with all these sodium and all these fake salt, synthetic salt, and going to the hair beauty salon and having chemicals added to her head, putting on makeup. Makeup? If the Creator make you naturally beautiful, you don't need makeup. Lipstick, what is in the lipstick that you're putting on your lips? What is in the nail polish that you're putting on your nails? What is it that you're putting on your body that the man is not and the children are not? That's why they're not getting the cancers like you're getting, and you're wondering how. You have been targeted, you have been designed to be the specimen for these kinds of product, experimental products, to see the effects.
But you know, Doc, most of the women, we're talking about women, and we're talking about cervical cancer awareness month, as they say. Most of the women don't believe that those chemicals are affecting them. They don't believe it. They think that it's something that when you put it on or you use it, it's just for where it is, on your nail, that's it, on your scalp, that's it, or on your hair, that's it. They don't think that you absorb these chemicals
In the bloodstream,
through
the pores.
the pores. They don't think that. So it is like, I'm quite sure that we talking now, and most of the people who are listening to us are saying, really? Oh, wow.
Then explain why in most so-called beauty salons, especially the ones owned by Koreans or Asian people, they're wearing a mask while they're working on you, and you're sitting there for hours, no mask, breathing in, and having them work you over, and literally worked you over.
No, it is felt. It is felt that they're protecting themselves from whatever it is that you have. Not what they're using on you.
That's right.
So they wear the mask
To protect themselves from
what
the
you
person, the
have.
patient, what you have. Wow. That's so funny.
Whereas, in other words,
That was a curveball.
no, that was a sinker.
I'm not going down with that one.
You know,
But seriously speaking, that was a sign right there when the proprietor of the business is saying, I'm going to protect my lungs. I'm going to wear a mask. Why the proprietor doesn't give the client and says, you need to wear this while I'm working? Never. It's never offer. Or why the client says, listen, do you have another mask for me to wear also? Why they never ask? But they sit and breathing all that stuff in chemicals.
all day, all the time.
All the time. And you've noticed the workers are using gloves on them. They're protecting themselves, and they are not.
But you know, in the salons here, you don't see that.
No, you don't see that.
You don't see them protecting themselves.
No, or wearing the mask.
Right,
Or maybe
right.
one or few because they learned it from the States.
One or
But I
two.
get the Asians. Yes, one or two. That's why the Asians, they're aware of that. And the majority of the people that goes to those so-called beauty salons are people of the diaspora of Africa. The majority of them. And the question of who make those chemicals, they never study those chemicals and see the effects of what they have. I'm just showing the parallel from a biblical perspective of how the woman was the first one to have taken the forbidden food, consumed something, put into the body, and it has changed the body. As a matter of fact, when it says indeed, and their eyes became open, they saw they were naked. You know what that was all about? That was about taking something, putting into the body, and your whole metabolism, your whole body changed. And so the first person to caught fever and the first person to have gotten ill and sick is the woman. According to the story, folks, again I say, according to the story they give us in the book Genesis. If you have another story otherwise than that, share it. But my point is simply, I'm just going by the book they wrote, the book they gave us, and the story they tell. That the woman was the first person that was experimented on, listen to this carefully, for something she should not have consumed. The mouth, the nose of the nostrils, the eyes, and the ears, and the pores of the body, a very major entrance to things to enter into the body. Now, I didn't say she was the first person for quote-unquote surgery to be taking place on. I didn't say that, right?
No,
I
you
said,
didn't say that.
right, I said the first person, listen to this carefully, for them to experiment it on, for her to consume something within the mouth, which is eating, so it can affect the body. Because the first surgery, according to the book, was Adam. So taken from Adam and making the woman. Surgery. Again, I didn't write the book. Whether that story is true or not, that's for you folks to figure out. But all I'm simply saying, the first person to consume and to disobey and to take something that was told not to eat from the tree of what? Knowledge of good and evil. It was the woman they targeted, according to their story. And we see that pattern today. It's always the female running to the doctor, running to the hospital for this, and the different products. Another point I want to make quickly here is this. You talk about they don't believe that these things are affecting them, right? Belief, folks, is a dangerous thing. Belief is a dangerous thing. Knowing, knowing or awareness is better than belief, because belief is based on hoping it is not so. Now, same thing with the woman in the Garden of Eden. She was told she would be more beautiful than she is. Hear what the tempter says. For God knows that when you eat of it, you become like us gods. In other words, much more than what the Creator made you. And she had no idea that she was made greater than the tempter. But she believed. There we go again, but believe. She believed the word of the serpent, of the tempter, saying, if she takes part of something she shouldn't, she'll become like gods. So why these women spend so much hours, days, months, years trying to beautify themselves beyond what the Creator made, and that which they're using is not making them that beautiful, like you say, going to the grave.
They want to become like gods.
They want to become like gods. But that God is a concept. The Creator already made you in the Creator's image and likeness. And you want to disfigure that natural beauty, bleaching yourself? Putting all those chemicals, you're wondering where the cancers come? Eating like a dog out of a can? Who says that bara, they call it bora, and corn and all these things could be eaten out of a can? That's dog food. When you can pick it off of the tree of life, the natural tree, and eat it. Who said you have to spray chemicals on your crop for you to consume? That means somebody has plans for you, targeting you as they specimen to find out the effects of these chemicals.
Well, they say that they spray them because they're protecting them from the
Insects,
insects
parasites, and stuff.
and parasites which are destroying them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My goodness. And go again to belief, and people believe in that. Look, I grew up knowing that cow manure was one of the best fertilizer. The animal manure was one of the best fertilizer, okay? Not chemicals. Miracle Grow, not chemicals. And why they call it Miracle Grow? When the act of something growing is a natural miracle in its own, how the Creator designed it. But that's all put into the minds of people based on belief. Let me make this point because I'm out of the class. It's important for me to make this point.
We're going to take some calls, right?
Okay.
We're going to ask the operator to put the number up there so we can at least take a couple. You know?
Let me make this point indeed, okay? I have said before that words are very important. The etymology and linguistics of words are important. Disfortunately, for many of us in Guyana, we are taught what to think, but not how to think. Again, let me say that. We're taught what to think. Disfortunately, we're not taught how to think. The Creator gave us mental faculties for us to think beyond what we are told. Disfortunately, we only go by what. So we live in a what society. Whatever outside says, we're assuming that we also have it. Let me make this clear. During the time of slavery in Guyana and in the United States of America, there's always known as two types of black people. You had the field slave and the house slave. You had the what? The field slave and the house slave. The field slave would work very, very hard, and he's exposed to the sun and all that, so he's one with nature. The house was in the shade. When the house slave master gets sick and cough, as soon as he cough, the house slave says, "Massa, we sick?" He claims that sickness, because he in the house. What did the field slave say? Massa cough, no, be dead. Yeah, in the field, because he knew what Massa does to him in the field. But the house slave is being treated differently than the field slave, that he associates himself with Massa. Whatever affected Massa affects him. So Massa cough. He said, "Massa, we sick." Not Massa, you sick. So he claims that. We see that also in Guyana. When United States of America or Europe or PAHO, WHO says that there's a certain sickness in a certain area and stuff like that, all of a sudden, saying United States, all of a sudden we assuming it's going to affect us. So we claiming Massa sick, so obviously we can get sick. Measles is going around, so we have to get MRI, we have to get these shots. This is what happens in the mind. We're talking a house slave mentality. The field now would use what? Herbs and natural. He's not depending on my master. So I'm simply saying that mindset is still there.
Still there. Good evening.
A pleasant good evening to you, my brother.
Pleasant good evening to you, brother. How you doing?
Brother. I got an issue and I need some advice. Somebody mentioned once that these dogs that are mining under the house here,
Uh-huh.
and I find that when I research it on the line, because I get in a cramp on the right side shoulder, sometimes when I used to came in the yard, when I come in the yard, I used to play with them, give them their fight for lick your finger and all. So I find I get this strange thing in the yard, and I want to believe like I contract some, because when I go online and the wife do the research, sorry about that, the wife is here.
She's here?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for telling me.
We sorry about that.
Come with cramps and hookworms.
So why you
Dogs.
wait till the wife come to get the cramps and the hookworms? Why ain't get them before she come?
No, well, it was a bit interrogated before, but now that she come in now and you can't keep your mind off of certain things, you'll find
We
it
gotta
will
get you.
increase.
We gotta get you down there at the clinic so we can get the confirmation,
Yes, brother.
not confirmation, the affirmation.
Confirmation, come to form. It's
We can
affirmation. That's it.
get the
That's
affirmation
it.
Yeah.
and use the necessary tools
Yes,
to
sir.
destroy the parasites
That's
that might have invaded you.
Form.
You know,
Dogs
you know
come.
the situation, you know me?
Yes, dogs come with things.
Pardon me?
They come.
Dogs, animals.
Dogs comes with things.
Okay.
Those
You know the
things.
thing with the dog? I got 2 slots on the bull. Now they break over and causing me a little problem. And when you go to the dog lie down and skin up, you're giving people wrong impression. Always lie down and
And you fall for that.
It's a habit of the dog. The dog knows how to appease you, so you wouldn't whip them.
I give you just a minute, just a while.
It's true, the dog wouldn't lie down.
Good evening.
Good evening, madam.
And how are you?
How dare you come to this country and you have not stopped by?
That's right. It's in the pipeline, as they say.
It's in the pipeline.
Time now.
The pipeline is not connected yet. I don't think Exxon has done it yet.
Well, well, kind of going to be very rich when it does, aren't they?
Well, I hope so. I hope so. Good to hear from you. I'm hoping to see you before you return.
Yes, 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 likewise.
Your husband is a very good man, and he
Yeah.
takes care of me with my natural produce many times. He brings them by, and I take care of him in whatever way I can. So we have a good thing going.
Yes.
And you could be a part of that.
Amen.
All right?
Yes, of course.
Very good to hear from you.
Yeah, respect you still.
Okay.
Hopefully the pipeline will carry a hole underneath.
But then we would have disaster. All right. Well, I look for you, okay?
And that's with Dr. Yates, isn't it, sir?
Dr. Yates, yes.
Yeah, give my respect and regard unto the entire family.
All right, my brother. You take care and have everything good for the new year, okay?
Well, we ain't got a new year, we got to continue all this.
It started already. It's almost quarter of the way done. All right.
Bless, man.
Okay, blessed. Yeah, this gentleman has the art of growing things naturally,
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Congratulations.
and when he brings them, they're, I don't know how he fetches them, you know, but they're loaded.
That reminds me, right now, people have been demanding of me pumpkin seeds. Wow.
Oh wow, nice.
Yes,
nice.
yes. Pumpkin seeds a big demand.
Good
And,
evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. You have any pumpkin seeds?
Dr. Haynes.
Yes, my dear.
I am calling I have a sick sister. She troubles with lupus.
Oh, really?
And her husband minding a monkey in the house.
Really?
Yeah,
What's the monkey doing in the house? The monkey don't belong in the house. They have trees in the house?
no,
Okay.
They have bananas that are growing in the house?
no.
So what is the reason of the monkey in the house?
I don't know, I have no idea.
Where is this house with the monkey?
In Amelia's word.
Really?
And I guess you know us too, this is from that circle.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me say this to you. We have been very successful in treating persons with lupus. Very successful. We haven't had one person with lupus who didn't overcome it. Believe it or not. But the monkey got to come out of the house.
Yes, I know that.
The monkey belongs in the wild,
Mm-hmm.
not in the house. If he loves his wife, he would take the monkey and put the monkey outside in the house, outside of the house.
And that is what he love her.
He ain't love her.
No.
Okay, well then,
To love you if I can see. You know that our immune system is weak compared to the sickness.
yes, it's the immune system.
Reminding a monkey in the house.
Monkeys also come with things.
I know.
Well,
Next question for the doctor. I want to know which part in the Bible say that female must not pastor church.
female must not pastor a church.
Yes.
Okay, well, first of all, the word pastor is not in the Bible. Okay? The word pastor is not in the Bible. There's something Europeans made up. Another thing you'll find is that when it comes to leadership, there are many female that are
I
great.
don't cut off and just listen.
Okay, good. When it comes to leadership, see, this is a European egotistical concept about who should rule and who shouldn't rule. See, when you're in your natural environment and your natural people, that is not a question being asked, who is the man and who is the woman. There's no confusion there. But in the Western European society, that's why there's a book in the New Testament called Romans. A lot of people don't get that. You have Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and Acts, which is supposed to be for action. Then you have the book Romans. And when you read the book Romans, it's referring to the people of Rome, the pagans. Matter of fact, by the time you read the first full gospel, there's no Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John says nothing about a woman can be a leader. But we do see women as leaders in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. As a matter of fact, when it spoke about the first person that told about the resurrection of Christ was a woman. You get it? You see that? The person that washed his feet with her tears was a woman, not a man. That's leadership. There's no such word as pastoral. There's no such word. Okay? You won't find that word in the Bible. If you're trying to say leadership, the woman led show you how to wash the Messiah's feet with her tears. You being in water, but I can use my tears. Who's a greater leader there? See? So they come up with this, what you call denominational doctrine about who, it's a pagan concept about who's in charge and who's not.
So you said the woman has more tears than the man then?
No,
No, I'm just kidding.
what I'm saying is that you don't have to do with that. What I'm saying is that the woman show more leadership.
Yeah, I got you.
The widow's mite. Talk about the widow's mite. The woman gives the last that she had to feed. You see, this is it. If you look right through scriptures indeed. As a matter of fact, speaking of the woman of leadership, according to the same Adam, after she did what she did, you notice not one of them repented? Adam called her Eve. She, Adam, that was called Eve, never repented. He, Adam, never repented. They never asked for forgiveness. That's why they got evicted. And when they got evicted, there's one thing I like about what I read in what's written. It says the Creator said unto her, the woman, not to the man, that her seed would be at war with the serpent's seed. You know what that means, folks? We're talking about two types of people there in the world. The woman bringing forth children, which is human, and the serpent. We have to ask, who is a serpent? It's not a snake. It didn't say snake. It was a being, a muscular being. Now, it says that his seed would be at war with the woman's seed. Seed means children. And people wonder today why dark people, they're wrongfully called black people, are hated so much by a specific kind of people that is known to be pale, we call Caucasian. What have we done? Don't matter, we could always to have this hate just because of our color. Once they see us, they hate. Where does the hate come from? Goes to the scripture. It says the woman's seed would be at war with the serpent's seed, and the serpent's seed will bruise the heel of the woman's seed. Heel meaning below there. How his heel was bruised, the chains and the shackles of slavery put on him.
We're going to have a biblical day.
We sure will, because the lady started it. I'm out the closet, folks. I'm not in the closet.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Turn on your volume of your, yes, good. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Still up?
The word pastor is in the Bible.
Say it again.
Pastor.
She said it's in the Bible.
What part of the Bible? Share with us, please.
Jeremiah. The book of Jeremiah.
Read it first, please.
Turn on your volume of your
Jeremiah
television.
Oh, you can call again and read it first.
2:8.
Yeah, read it. Read it what it says.
I don't have it here.
Okay, it's important to read it first.
And Ephesians. I have.
Yeah, read the one in Jeremiah first, because that's important. The word pastor.
When we have the biblical program,
When we have the biblical program, we bring it on.
we bring it on.
Yeah,
Okay?
good idea.
He will address it when he has the biblical program.
Let me, like I said.
All right?
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Like I said, if the word is referring to leadership, we see women as leadership. So that shouldn't be a question, should a woman be a leader? You get what I'm saying? I'm there from that definition standpoint. If this word means leadership, then I can show you many examples of women who were leaders in the Old Testament and also in the New Testament.
So let's get to who led the human to the scourge of cancer.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you this. According to what's written, the consummation of something you're not supposed to take will cause all disease and sickness. So we read, according to the book of Genesis, the woman was the first one who took something in her mouth and she didn't keep it to herself and she gave it to the man. And you say men also get breast cancer? All right then. And gave to the man, and both of them got contaminated with something they shouldn't. So it affected the immune system. This is why they saw their nakedness. The idea of seeing one's nakedness meaning that you're no longer in the stature and the image of how you see yourselves before is like when you get sick. Do you look the same than when you're not? All right then. So they became diseased. And so they open up themselves for a lot of illness and sicknesses. The act of disobedience is what being ill. Like you said, it's a disease. You said cancer is a disease. You said it's a curse. You said it is, folks. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Your body is the temple of the Creator. And it's written, if you defile it, the Creator will destroy you. That's why I've never drank alcohol in my life. I never smoked cigarette in my life. I don't have to use these things. Okay? And I never slept with a homosexual in my life. I don't have to do these things.
Okay. Good evening. Oops, we lost that one. Good evening.
Good evening, Shalom.
Shalom.
I have been planning as a female from about age 31, that's about a couple of decades now, without any chemicals. Yes, I had,
Congratulations.
and still no one has ever planted and get any fine leaf time taller than what I had here.
How tall is it?
I grew. It was over 12 feet tall.
You sure it's a fine leaf time tree?
I'm sure about my doctor friend. Yeah, of course. I'm sure.
Take a picture.
I have the photograph
Take
of
a
it
picture.
on television.
Send it to
now.
me. I don't doubt you, but send it to me. I'd like to see
It's not
that.
a huge bunch of bananas.
Don't tell me anything.
Pardon me?
I don't want to hear.
Oh, I'm sorry. And
You
another
eating all-
thing,
you
quickly,
eating-
I ain't like Dr. Hayes. He talking, he ain't going to talk.
You're eating all the bananas by
And I was
yourself.
afraid. Yes, you know, the Bible was written by man. I'm doing it as quick, cutting it short.
Mm-hmm.
We were created in the image and likeness of the Creator, which simply means that within the mechanism of the brain lie all information and knowledge.
Beautiful.
So the Bible is not the only place where knowledge is found.
That's true. Word.
We are finished with that. That can be explained further. Number three. Now, the Bible was rewritten and revised by Constantine and Queen Victoria to mentally enslave Africans. But now the whole earth is enslaved by the Bible.
You have to come here one day.
Yes, and join us.
You have to come here one day.
And join
sit,
us.
And sit with Doc and when we have the Bible show or
yeah.
the Bible program.
You know, I don't want to be a TV fan. Dr. Yates, no, he
No,
knows
you
that. He
can
knows
put
me
it-
since
No,
1986.
you're gonna be
He knows
the-
that I don't
you're gonna
want
be
to be
behind the camera.
identified as a TV.
We can have your voice
You got your voice, you'll be behind the camera.
and your presence. We don't have to have your face.
face.
It's not my face, it's my presence. I really don't want me present. I
But your
live a
presence
different
right
life, you
now-
know. I am completely emancipated.
Your presence is,
Right
your
now-
presence is being
being
felt
felt
right
right
now
now
by people
by
all
your
over
voice.
Guyana.
Pardon me?
Your presence is being felt by
Yes.
persons all over Guyana right now.
My presence has been felt decades now.
Good.
then.
So
So
why
would
you
you
wanna
welcome?
why you want to not why you want to deny your presence here?
I don't want to come on television.
All right then.
Why you want to change my rules and my laws? The Yates, Dr. Yates, when I catch you, I'm going to strangle you.
No, we need to don't strangle him. Strangle him with a piece of time.
Pardon me?
Strangle him with a piece of time.
From your tree.
Take a
And some,
take.
maybe some bananas
Yes.
and tomatoes.
No, banana too big.
I have tomatoes now, but it's not enough to bring for you, Dr. Yates.
Take a time leaf and strangle.
I'm hungry a piece of rope. Anyway, maybe I come, maybe not. It's all
All
said.
right,
We'll plan it, okay?
Okay then.
Thanks for your input.
Yes, thank you too.
You see what you started with this Bible thing?
It's not me started, it's you.
I'd stop it.
Good evening.
Pull that
It's
up.
the caller.
It's the
Good
caller.
evening.
It's the caller.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 21 says, For the pastors are brutish and have not sought the Lord. Therefore they shall not prosper, and all the flocks shall be scattered.
Wow, that's
Thank you.
To confirm that the word
Thank
of
you.
God did teach or did speak about the word
Uh-huh.
pastors.
Thank you, and I'm glad to learn that. And the question is that a Hebrew word? Is it an English word? What is it? Is it a Greek word? Is it Latin or what? What language is it? The word pastor.
Now, we can talk about that explanation later on, but I'm just trying to
But
clarify.
I'm glad you did. And
Pastor
it's mentioned
is
mentioned in the Bible.
As a matter of fact,
I-
this is only one time. I mean, I can talk about it in the New Testament where he says the gift, referring to the gift, he said some was given pastor and teacher.
Okay, good. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
Because,
okay?
because that's something I learned this evening, that the word is mentioned, you said only once in the Old Testament.
Well, I don't have the time to look at it, right? I just get in the house and I'm kind of busy, but I just try to put
okay,
it
thanks.
down.
Thank you
for
so much.
calling, okay?
Thank you.
Appreciate you
Yeah.
clearing it up.
Yeah. Because that word needs to be defined indeed what it means.
I think you should have,
Yeah, we need to.
when you have the Bible, you don't have the Bible quiz anymore?
Yes, I do every Friday at 5.
So you should start that topic. I'll take one more call. One more call. Good evening.
It's me again.
Uh-huh.
People so tied up and confused with this teaching we had from since in Master time. And it's not easy for get it out. Master brainwash we and now they wash the brain. So it's not easy for convince a brother. Our book is not the BIBLE English Bible because English is not a complete language either.
That's
Right?
true.
And the book was written for the first book was the first five book of the Torah. You don't know nothing about the Torah now because the black man can't read the Torah, obviously. We there in this country and all we know is like, are you broken English as they call it or patois? And up to other races that know all languages or one other languages, like the Hindu know the Hindu languages, not all of them, but the basics, and we know nothing. So when we call and debate about this King James and thing, if the book belongs to the creator, it wouldn't have been in King James' name because creator is creator.
Beautiful.
The first word, the first book was the only word. It would not no name, who book and King James version and this version. It was the holy word written on scroll. And then they down to Musa. Musa had it, not Moses. And David. And the Italian phonics, D-A is da, but still you play D-A-V-I-D, David. How come? It's D-A-Da, D-A-V-I-D is David.
Okay.
We got to straighten up in our
We're gonna have the
Good
specific.
doctor should be able to address the situation. But anytime one rise up, like the deliver the children like from Egypt, like Musa, anytime father rise up want to teach us like Farrakhan, we got issue with we own people. We rise up against them, like how they gonna rise up that days and tell you, well, all kind of sarcastic remarks. But I believe the woman came to prophesy because she prophesied like Anna was in the temple after she become a widow, and she prophesied the birth, and she prophesied, and the woman keep prophesying all the time. But he said they must not preach or pray, and then the whole thing confusing anyhow, left it for some other good day.
For the Bible show.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Thank you, brother.
Yep, brother.
Wow.
We have a lot of scholars
Yeah,
out
I'm
there.
telling you what.
That's
Well,
a
it
lot.
seems like them want to come out of the closet. They say,
Everybody gonna come out the
Out
closet.
Yeah, quick.
I don't know.
Oh, good, man. Good.
Good evening.
Good night, Doc.
Good night to you.
Just want to know if the doctor say you have inflammation in your body, what it means?
Inflammation.
Yes.
Inflammation it could be from trauma. It could be from an infection. It could be from a wound, right? But if it's in the body, it is probably from either trauma or some type of an infection or something.
Okay, because the person would feel tired and achy in the body, and when they went to the doctor, that is what the doctor told them.
Tired and achy?
Tired and yes, and achy.
Achy. It could be a virus. It could be a
And that
virus.
is curable?
Well, we need to know what it is. You see, when you have information
Yes.
that is so broad
Yeah.
in its delivery, okay, it can mean a lot. But what you need to do is to get the specifics. You understand?
Okay.
What is causing the inflammation, and where is the inflammation? I'm certain it's not the whole body that has it. If the whole body had it, then she wouldn't be living.
Okay.
All right, or she'd be bedridden somewhere.
That's my information. I'll call again
All right.
to find out.
So we